Hi everybody! Tonight we're going to make some quinoa and we're going to prepare it and to have some for Rainbow, the budgie, to eat too. So for those of you who have never seen quinoa, it's an ancient grain. It looks like this, very tiny, and you need to really rinse it. Rinse it out a few times, otherwise it'll be bitter. Once it's cooked, it's bigger than this. Once it's cooked, it is a little round, circular. I don't know if you can see it, but once it's cooked, I'll show you. So rinse it out a few times, otherwise it'll be bitter. Each time you rinse out the quinoa, you'll notice that the water gets cleaner and cleaner. And the quinoa is very tiny, so be careful how you pour out the water. Sometimes you can lose a lot of the quinoa. You can see that some is floating on top. So what I do is I use this tiny colander that has tiny holes. It catches most of the small quinoa. See how it catches all? Let's put it back in. Rinsing it prevents bitterness. And then you just make it as though you're making rice over the stove. Okay, now that I've rinsed out my quinoa enough and I'm satisfied that it's pretty clean, and I'm old school, I don't measure anything. So I just pour in the quinoa. And how much water we need? Well, you see the first notch on my finger. Put it on top of the quinoa, and it goes to the first notch on my finger, and that's enough water. And then you just put it on top of the stove and let it boil until most of the water is evaporated, and then I cover up 10 minutes for a small pot, 13 to 15 minutes for a bigger pot, and then we can enjoy it. For those who don't know that I enjoy crocheting, I made these crochet towel toppers. They look like dresses. But anyway, the quinoa is on top of the stove, and we're just waiting for it to boil. And then just let it boil until most of the water is gone, and then we lower the flame, put the lid on, and then in about 10 to 15 minutes we'll have cooked quinoa. Be right back. Okay, now the quinoa is boiling now. We wait until all the water is evaporated, and then we put the lid on. The quinoa is boiling down, and the water is evaporating, and you can see these little craters. There's still too much water. We gotta let it boil more and evaporate. Okay, it looks like it's almost evaporated. Today I just put in plain water because part of the quinoa is going to be served to my bird. So with birds, you don't want to put any oil or any kind of salt or seasoning in it. But you can make quinoa with chicken broth, beef broth, chicken stock or beef stock or shrimp stock. If you're into seafood. Okay, now we lower the flame. Cover it up. And since this is not a big portion, it's on the small side, I would say about 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Okay, quinoa is ready. Turn up the flame. And this is how the cooked quinoa looks. Okay, we cool it down and we'll give it to Rainbow and see if he will eat it or not. Okay, now that the quinoa is all cooked, cooled down, we're going to give a little bit to Rainbow with the budgie. So let's put it in here. Okay, now we put a little bit of quinoa in here, mixed with the carrots. I'm going to serve it to Rainbow and see his reaction. Hey Rainbow, Mommy got yum yum. You go eat. Come on. Come on, let's go eat. Yum yum. Got your carrots. That's very good. Let's see if he would go for the quinoa, which is different. No, it's all carrots. It's good, right? Your carrots are good. You see something different in here? You go eat your quinoa. That's something new. Come on. Just try. Good boy, you're eating your carrots. How about over here, your quinoa? Okay. Maybe if I put it in the cage. Let's put this in the cage and see what happens. Hooray! He went for the quinoa a little bit. Yeah. It's different, right? Take another bite. Go take another bite. Okay. It's a good start, right? Wiping his beak. Okay. Come on and play a little bit. That's very good. He tried it a couple of times, right? And then now he's out playing. Okay, so you'll have to think about whether you like it or not. It's a very good boy. Well, thanks for trying your quinoa.